Hot rod school. That sounds pretty cool.
So again, it's a class, it's a curriculum actually that's offered by the Yuba County Office of Education up in the Yuba City, Marysville area, and gentleman's name is Ken Hamill, and we actually had Kenny as a guest speaker at our Association of California Car Clubs legislative conference this year, and it's absolutely amazing what he does with those kids, and since back in 2004, 2005. Ken and his kids have been regular entries into the Grand National Roadster Show in the Sacramento Autorama.
That is so
cool. And actually,
cool.
he offers the kids as kind of helpers in the show. But that's what we need. We need the schools. Kids today need to know that getting their hands dirty is not bad. You know. And,
it's I got to say something. You know, it might come back and haunt me a little bit, but for anybody thinking of going to the school Wyotech,
right.
I would seriously reconsider, because I've hired 5 kids out of Wyotech, and not one of them have any sort of hands-on experience. They have it's kind of all make-believe stuff there that they teach. They don't teach hands-on experience, and that is so important with this business.
Can I tell you something that I know about Wyotech?
What's that?
We have a Wyotech here in Sacramento.
Yeah, I know.
And I actually know the young man that runs their fabrication shop.
Uh-huh.
Okay, his name is Luke Dingman.
Okay,
and
I've heard of him.
The young man that owns Sacramento Customs here in Sacramento.
Yeah.
He actually is a graduate of Wyotech.
Wow.
I've seen some very nice projects here now in the Sacramento area come out of Wyotech. But I've also heard the same thing that you have. But
it must be very few, because I'm telling you, I don't know. You know what? I feel terrible for these kids. The reason I'm even saying something is because these kids, they could have came to me, you know what I mean, saved 40, 50 grand, and I would have taught them way more than what they knew coming out of there. And it's just it's kind of sad. Yeah,
it's just that there again though personally, I know quite a few young men and women, okay, that are just gearheads now, which is good, because we seem to have lost a generation there, and now we're getting these young folks, and again, men and women that are there. I want to tell you, we've got a car club here in Sacramento called the Throttle Queens, and it's an all-girl car club, and that's not unusual, but these girls get dirty. They all own and drive. There's a couple of Falcons, a couple of T-Birds, a Chevy panel truck, and so on. But these gals all work on their own cars, and they, hey, if there's a problem, they get dirty.
That is cool.
That's really cool to see too.
Yes. No, that's really cool.
Yeah, it is. So, but and again, they're getting back to the ACCC. They are a member club of the ACCC, and they help us out at different functions and so on and so forth like that.
Oh, wow.
Because, again, without this group, without somebody that keeps an eye on the legislature and the state agencies, they just run amok. Of course, they run amok anyway, but at least somebody's watching them and can call them on it,
Yeah, they're running amok, and it sounds like they're just trying to create some kind of job security. So let's sit down and make up this phony job this week so I can get paid for the next year.
Right. Well, instead of worrying about important things like our roads.
Yeah. My God.
Where we're paying $1 gazillion in gas tax, they're worrying about whether or not men and women get charged the same thing to have a blouse press.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just ridiculous.
It is. I'll tell you right now, they just repaved all around my neighborhood, most of the streets, and I'm going to tell you, I think they just repaved them about 5 or 6 years ago. So it's like, are you serious? You really don't drive around the other roads on this street?
Right.
They keep repaving these same roads that are fine.
Drive I-5.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you what, going down to last year today, as you and I are speaking right now, 1 year ago today, I was sitting at the L.A. Fairplex at the L.A. Roadsters Father's Day show talking with John Buck, the owner of the Grand National Roadster Show, and you know John.
Yeah, I've had him on the show.
I was actually John's first show manager when he bought the show from Dan Sear.
Oh, okay.
But I was sitting down there, but going down to L.A., I swear to God, I'm glad I have all my real teeth, because if I'd had dentures or anything like that, I couldn't believe it. I just went. So, you go, where's all the highway funds going?
Yeah.
Because they're robbing it, and they're robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Yep.
The problem is Peter's broke.
Yep.
And it's absolutely crazy. And we have in the Sacramento area, we have the leader of the Senate here. But I'll tell you here, a breath of fresh air is in Southern California, and that's Assemblyman Tim Donnelly. If you ever have the chance to talk with Tim Donnelly and listen to him, he can talk for 2 hours and not be political, because he talks about your constitutional rights and the rights of being a citizen. And we need more like him. We really do.
Oh, we really do. Because this place is in really bad shape. I mean, it's unbelievable. It just goes across the line. And then I got to go back to what did you say about Red Bull earlier?
Well, yeah, exactly.
I have my one Red Bull once a week, and I kind of enjoy it with my breakfast burrito. So if they're taking away my Red Bull, I'm going to be really upset.
So. But again, and there's different, the American Motorcycle Association, they form, and they have their abate group, and they have somebody at the Capitol, and the NRA has somebody at the Capitol, and so on. And whether you're a gun person, whether you indulge in tobacco, whether you like to have a beer once in a while, whether you're a sportsman or ride a motorcycle. We're small targets, and collector cars are even smaller.
Hey, we got to take another break. We'll be right back. Hold on to those sides. Yep.
Are you an inventor, or do you know an inventor who would like to attempt to have an invention or idea patented and submitted to industry? Well, for free information on